All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Fruits Basket, Season 2, Episode 15.
Okay. Yeah. We had some really good stuff with Hatsuharu, previous episode.
Yep. It was just generally as awesome and wonderful as he usually is. Yep. But we got even more insight into his past, specifically with Yuki and some of the things that he has done and the nicknames that he has given out in order to make sure that he would be okay.
Yeah. The working with Shigure is one that's especially telling, because a lot of people didn't necessarily care about Yuki.
Nope.
And in some ways, we might have assumed incorrectly about not just the situation with Yuki, but also Izuzu? Yeah. That she was also helping Hatsuharu with this whole situation with Yuki as well, so that he wouldn't get in trouble, and also Yuki wouldn't get in trouble, and then anyone else involved in that whole thing of awareness wouldn't get in trouble.
Right.
So we've got ourselves a lovely little protective circle that's been around Yuki for a while, and most of it is to do with Hatsuharu just trying to be a good friend.
Yeah. But now we are into the next stage of things. How will this continue? Who knows? Will we get more student council stuff? I feel like we're kind of maybe due for a little bit more of that.
Well, I think it's a thing that basically at this point, the fact that they went from that 2 episodes ago to an immediate other thing involving Yuki that had nothing to do with the student council means that it's something that'll kind of frequent in and out as the season progresses towards its
conclusion.
End.
But we got an amazing new OP and ED.
We did.
They are beautiful
so
and
good.
wonderful and relaxing and just peaceful.
Yeah.
And that's what we need in this show.
Definitely what we need. Yeah.
Yep.
Shigure offering more if no. Hatsuharu is basically like, what do you want to call me, honey?
Yeah.
No, I don't want
Too
that
much.
at all.
Too
No,
much.
Too much. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But okay, yeah, right. We're ready. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone. Now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below. Then come back here for the discussion. Oh my God, y'all! This episode was hilarious. It was terrifying, and emotional. But then fucking Ayame, just
you beautiful bastard.
He just sneaked his way in there.
Yep, that's right.
Shigure set him up too to succeed in this way. Oh my God! Great teacher Mayuko.
Yep. There were so many aspects of this episode that I just absolutely adored, and I feel like this episode is another great example of why I love Fruits Basket as a show so much, because even when it comes to yes, it can hit all of those really serious emotional moments, dark, painful moments, right? But the thing is that it's gone past that, where it's yes, we can do that, right? Yeah, we know how to do that, and we do that, but how do we do that? And it's always it's sandwiched, right? You've got the wholesome stuff at the beginning, which also makes the darker, more serious stuff hurt more, because you've been able to be emotionally comfortable, right?
Yep.
But then the serious stuff comes in, and it's like, oh shit. But then it'll get that other part of the sandwich that just comes back in, and it's like everything's okay, and that. I can't explain just how much that means to me, because sometimes this show goes into territory that is too much for me, right?
Yeah.
It's just actually too much, and it's like, please, But then there's amazing stuff like this, where it's like, fuck yes, I am a. That was, and the thing is that we hadn't seen Ayame in a while, right?
Well, we saw him half a dozen episodes ago.
Right, but not
him, really recently, and he had a big focus in that episode with you.
Totally, and that was a wonderful scene and everything, but not that recently. So it kind of. I wasn't expecting Ayame, right? I wasn't even thinking about Ayame, really, And then all of a sudden he's there with a big bouquet of roses, and it's just instantly I know.
Quiet, mother, and it's just
and it's just instantly I know everything's going to be okay,
right?
And Mayuko didn't need to do anything,
she
right?
Didn't need to do shit.
Yep, and I love that. I love that because. Yeah,
I mean, it's great for us because we're brothers, and there's been multiple times like growing up where you need a brother on your side. It doesn't need whether they're older, younger, or what have you. It's just you need another one just right there, someone to tag team things with, and
that was
so good.
And then Yuki being, of course, so relieved and excited and like, awesome, I can depend on him, right?
And feeling emboldened to then go after his mother and have the last word in there.
Because it can it can really change in an instant, right? It can oh yeah, she got in his head. She did. And it wasn't it wasn't going
history
well.
that can she can tie everything back to.
Exactly.
It's very powerful.
Might feel like a weird thing to bring up, but so the Joker line of all it takes is one bad day.
Okay.
All it takes is one good day too.
Yes.
Like it's something where the mom shows up and then suddenly Yuki's in the pits, right? But then also Ayame shows up and suddenly Yuki's like, no, I can deal with mom. Like,
when did she feel so small?
Yeah. Like.
I love this come around for Yuki here because this has been something that's been a long time in its build up here over the course of season 2 especially, but even earlier. The idea that his mother was someone that, in her gaslighting and her abandonment and her abuse through the emotionally distancing herself from him.
Yep.
She helped create him into who he is today, and yet in a lot of ways because of the emotional connection that he's had with people in his life since then, i.e. like Shigure, Kyo, and Toru, like there's this other family basically that's just kind of been there for him, but with that notable kind of absence of any of them being really like parents, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's something where Yuki kind of needs this to be his thing, where he steps out of that thing of needing parents, because if he's going to be the one that grows up beyond, graduation, and Kyo is the one that's having the looming, just over him. Now,
different kinds of stories and progression.
Yeah, exactly. Now, obviously, Akito can, do whatever he's going to do.
Akito can also be a looming force for Yuki.
Yeah, and in some ways he absolutely is. Nothing's changed in that regard. But this is something where Yuki needs to step out into the light on his own, realizing that there's all those people behind him if he needs them.
Yep.
But you don't actually need them always.
Right.
Ayame is a wonderful person to use as an example for someone that can swoop in and save you, but Ayame didn't help you talk to your mother there.
Right.
That was you.
Yeah.
Once you found the courage from Ayame to go back out there, or just to go out there in general,
then it was relatively simple.
It was all you. So
Yep.
Oh, so proud of Yuki. Oh my god.
I am I'm over the moon about how this episode went. Like it's I don't know, it's one of those things where like Fruits Basket is not an action show, right? It is a character show.
Right,
it is it's a slice of life and stuff with all of this wonderful things. But this feels like we just had a hype as hell anime smackdown, right? Like OP playing in the background, like powering up and all of that shit. And it was just a conversation at a parent teacher meeting. How does this show do this?
Yeah, we did see a really interesting thing with the tie-in of having Yuki's mother being someone that saw him as a tool.
Yeah.
And then people comparing Shigure to being someone that uses people as tools.
Yep.
And it was Isuzu that was bringing that up when she came over to see him.
Right.
Like, what do you think about that?
I think it's something where, it's tough. There's two different ways that mainly come to mind right now. One is that it could be something where the show has been setting this up for a while, and a lot of the times in stories you'll have the foreshadowing, but then you'll have the part where it actually gets acknowledged verbally and up front by the characters and stuff in the or by the story itself. Because
it's almost a little bit immersion breaking because you're realizing that they're going to capitulate on the foreshadowing that's been coming up.
No, not necessarily, because that's something that can be very good to do because characters will notice things, and having them get to the point where they can externalize it is super important.
True,
especially when it's two other people who might not have clued into the kind of stuff that they're cluing into, right?
Yeah, and that's I guess what I meant was more that, to me, I guess it's more of a thing where I go, oh, wait, this broke my immersion for the slightest little bit, because now I'm like, the show is pointing at it in a more emphatic way of, we're going to progress this. The Shigure is, very much like manipulating the situations, what have you, towards a desired goal.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
And then, I can't remember what the other one was, but it does make sense that Shigure, as things start to escalate, right? And, Toru's met Akito and different things like that he would need to get a bit more overt with the kinds of manipulations that he does. Because,
he needs to move things along faster, because the timeline is probably less.
Yeah, and with more precision. Yeah. Because, if he's planning for, a general thing in the future, he can kind of just...
You can be patient.
Yeah, if you think, chess openings, you can set up things that are good for general openers and set up good strategy and good opportunities, but you're not actually necessarily planning this exact thing will cause me to beat the other person.
Yeah,
right?
Finketoing a bishop. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, but now it's getting to the point where it's towards the end game, where you've got to count out all the moves and figure out exactly what needs to happen in order to get the objective you want.
Moves,
right. And so I feel like that's kind of where Shigure's getting into now, where it's I'm going to do this exact thing. I'm going to contact Ayame and let him know about the teacher, meeting, parent-teacher meeting. I'm going to, do these different little things that will, bring the conflict to a head, basically.
Yeah, it feels to me like he's basically taking the people that are potential threats to Akito
and assembling them, kind of,
and potentially trying to set up another confrontation with Akito. And that's the thing that's maybe seen as a little bit dirty from Shigure, is that he doesn't necessarily care about the fallout of the confrontation. He wants the result of the confrontation.
Right. Advancing a pawn can be great for the pawn because, turning it into a queen and all that stuff. But if suddenly it becomes a big target because now it's a problem, you
can get value out of that pawn.
Trading it for something above its
station.
Normal station, yeah.
You're like, okay, cool, I didn't get my queen, but I got a rook. I got one of their rooks out of the deal. They forced that trade, even though they really shouldn't have.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with people, not pieces, that gets a bit more messy.
Yeah. I loved all the parent-teacher conferences, though. Mayuko dealing with all their shit was hilarious.
Yep.
Kazuma showing up just made my heart go doki doki.
And then apparently he did for Hana as well.
Exactly. Thank you for picking that up. Yep.
Okay, yeah. And I love your theory that it's because she can sense his waves.
And they're good waves.
Yeah. Like that.
She's just like,
I love it. Like, that is my headcanon now.
What did she say for him? Oh, he's kissed Dad. I thought he'd be red like carrots. That's because, she's just so gorgeous.
Yeah, right.
The way they both just kind of go, hey.
Pause, and then they're like, wait, what? Uh-huh.
Hey? The way,
the derp faces we got this episode were on point.
The derp faces were powerful, but freaking Toru is
just
blushing like a shoe was thrown into her face there.
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes. Fucking Yuki's mom
is a grade A bitch.
What they're setting up here, I feel like, is that she's someone who has felt trapped by being a parent of two Zodiacs.
Yeah.
That is so far something that we've never seen before.
And we also know that given how badly parents often respond when it's one, it's actually, putting aside how much I hate her, it is actually pretty impressive that she's done this well, given the circumstances.
Yeah, she's still around. She hasn't tried to kill any of them or anything like that. So I'm going through the list of where there's a bunch of shittier parents in the situation there. Because remember, Kyo's parents...
Yeah, Kyo's dad exists.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yep.
Now, to be fair, Yuki doesn't transform into
right. So that was
thing.
that was maybe a bit more of a complicated situation
where there's no real
there's no comparison there.
Thing there.
Yeah, but you know, she did still try and offload him to Akito, and the way you never said that, you know, you hated it with them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is something that is ridiculously frustrating because it works. Children don't have really good what would I say?
Confidence?
No. What's a better word? Not resilience, but they don't have a lot of reserves to fight back, basically, against something that's an overwhelming, oppressive force.
Right.
Because they don't really have the mental or emotional fortitude to be like, this will pass. Like, I can weather this, basically.
And from another standpoint, children are designed to learn. They're designed to absorb and adapt to their environment, right? Yeah. So they don't necessarily have a rock solid, view on the way things are supposed to be, to which then fight back from.
Exactly.
Because they're designed to adapt to, like, a child now versus a child 5,000 years ago, right? You know, they both have to adapt to whatever they're set up with, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, of course they're not gonna know how to deal with things like that, right? You know, they say, "Oh, mommy, please take me away from here. I don't like it. Akito is scary and he says scary things," and then you're completely ignored, and then it's just, "Oh, hey, he likes you." That's really good.
Yeah. And,
all right. Bye.
And the other part here that's really just kind of fucked in this regard is, we don't really know entirely what the situation is for people that are problematic in the Soma estate clan household
That's
thing.
true. Yeah.
Because of the possibility, and this is something that's really fucked, but you could have someone like Yuki's mother here, right? She did all those things, right?
Yep.
I think she absolutely is gaslighting Yuki. But because we have someone like Hattori, who could basically be like, oh, she was actually quite problematic. We're going
hypnosis.
to...
Here we go. Let's fix this. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to fix her memory side of things. And then she's like, what? I don't remember any...
That's true. Yeah, like, I didn't think you were going in that direction, but yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, it's the kind of thing where we know 100% that that's probably, like, not the case, you know? But having something where your world can be so warped in its reality because you have, well... Akito just by himself in this whole dynamic.
Well, and another way to think about it, too, is that given that they're so cloistered from the rest of the world, there is a lot of the people that exist in this Soma estate might not know how to actually take care of themselves in real society. So... if you become a problem for the clan, you end up basically, potentially, getting excommunicated, right? We don't know if they do that, but that is a potential looming threat, right? And, you know, a couple thousand years ago, right, that's death, right?
Yes.
One would say that it almost still is today, right? But, you know, it's just what scale are you looking at? And so, given that they're all brought up with this kind of dependency on the Soma estate... And then on top of that, the fact that the mom is so motivated by status and wealth and things, to an extent, she's also getting blackmailed as well. Now, she's the adult and she's the parent, so it's her responsibility.
There's no mercy, basically, from our mind.
Yeah, exactly. There is no room in my heart for this woman, right?
None.
It blows me away every time we have situations like this, like with and the way Mayuko responds, or the way that Kazuma responded when he was talking with Kyo's dad, because I would not have that level of patience and self-control.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, Mayuko can't just actually do anything to her because she's literally like you do not know what it's like for teachers to work with basically shitty parents and stuff. The best thing they can do is catch them in a crime,
right,
and then basically be like, okay,
call
now,
CPS or something.
Yeah. But even then, it's not necessarily gonna do anything. So in this situation here, Ayame was literally the best person for the job. Comes in, swoops in like a dashing prince, saving.
That's right.
The other prince. This episode was beautiful. I love it. And
there's not too much more to say about it. You know, okay.
No.
All right.
No. Okay. I love the little slow frame bit with Toru and Yuki, and
as he runs past. Yeah. Also, the bit with Kyo, I loved how that was handled because on the one hand, Kazuma doesn't want to torture Kyo by having him plan out his life after if he doesn't know if he'll actually be able to escape this whole thing.
Right.
But at the same time, hey, it's okay, right? You don't
It's your
have
life.
to. It's your life. You don't have to, figure it out now, right?
the mirror again for the situation with Yuki, or the inverse there, where he's like, I wouldn't want to rob you of your free will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No adult should do that.
No.
Because that'd be kind of shitty, right?
Especially for basically an adult, high schoolers, where it's you're going to be an adult in the legal sense, like very soon. Anyway.
Biologically, you've been adult for, several years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, all right, cool. Let's go. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.